Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ravneet Pawha. I'm the Deputy Vice President Global and CEO South Asia of Deakin University, Australia. Welcome to this Facebook Live session, which is hosted by Deakin University, South Asia. In this session, I'm going to talk to you about where we are and where the future looks like. You know, in these unprecedented times of COVID-19, we all are living a life which we never thought that we would ever be living. It is bringing us to a point where we are starting to think, what is this future? How are we going to make sure that we continue to study, we continue to have a career, and we continue to emerge ourselves in these changing times? I'd especially like to connect all the students, parents, and our stakeholders to this big initiative that Deakin University is bringing to you in these difficult times. We are one of the largest Australian universities with a very, very large number of Indian students studying on campus at this point of time. And COVID-19 has actually changed lives for you, for me, and for everyone around us. In these pandemic circumstances, our world is a new world, and I think it is going to go more and more as we go into the future. So what does this mean for you and me? Life is changing, my dear friends, and it is going to be difficult for us to deal with these changes as we go into the future. The new normal will be anything but not the same. As the world combats the coronavirus pandemic, the timeline for getting back to normal remains very, very unclear. The current situation in Australia, if you would like to know, is actually quite well as compared to the other countries. As of now, as of 17th April, the country has 2,522 confirmed cases. And it's actually on a very, very slow curve. So there is some hope. In the last few days, I don't think Australia, in its 3 or 4 main cities, has had any new case. But does this mean that life will be back to normal in Australia? Perhaps no, because we have to maintain all the aspects to deal with COVID-19, like social distancing, like making sure that we are keeping ourselves fit and our immunity system is strong. But social distancing, my friends, I'll come to that a little bit, because that actually does define what the future of education is going to be. This changing landscape of overseas education is going to define that a lot of the studies is actually going to happen online. The first thing that we have to remember that the new normal will be different. The second thing that we have to remember that it is not a question of 3rd May or 10th May. It is actually a question of a lifestyle. And each one of you will agree with me that the first thing we have to think about is safety. And Australia as a country takes that very, very seriously. And they have put together a lot of things for the students all across Australia to make sure that we keep our students safe, and we keep our students on a career path that they have chosen. Deakin University has taken a lot of priorities in making sure that we are able to protect our students and support all international students. The Vice Chancellor and the Executive has recently announced $25 million for supporting international students. In these unprecedented times and difficult times, this was a hard ask, but I think that tells you that we are committed to you, we are committed to the future, and we care about you. It is not going to be an easy run for any of us, but the one thing to remember is that we are all in this together. Faculty and staff are working tirelessly around the clock to support the 60,000 Deakin students across the world. These students are being supported financially, these students are being supported through education online, and these students are being supported for any of the support services that they may need from the university. So what does Deakin do in times like this? We go online. When we go online, what does this mean for you as an Indian student? Because in our system of education in India, we don't have the experience of studying online or teaching online. So what does this really mean? This means that Deakin University, which actually is a pioneer around the world in digital education, online education, cloud education, whatever we may call it, it has been ranked number 8 around the world for its infrastructure and its support and its teaching and learning process for international students and for students all over the world. So we bring to you this new option for you to continue your studies while you are in the comfort of your home. Let me explain this to you on how this is going to work and what really means to you. If you are a student and you have actually enrolled in the university in trimester 1, which is January, but you have not been able to go to Australia for whatever reason and you defer to trimester 2, your enrollment is secured. You can now study online and you are now able to make sure that you do not waste your time while you're here. You're not waiting for things to change, but you are a part of the change. And you are the one who's making the change to deal with this new world. So you can study 1 or 2 subjects online right now. July 4th is when we commence our semester. And you have to pay only for the 1 or 2 units that you study right now. There is a census date of the university by when you will have to submit all your documentation to the university. And in times like this, we are going to be pushing that timeline so that you are able to submit your late results, which are expected to happen somewhere in July, August. So by September, you will be required to submit your examination results if you don't have them right now or you are not able to produce them right now. Your admission will be provisional until the census date and submission of your documents. For some reason, if you are not able to continue on your online mode of education that you have started in July, then dear friends, we are looking at making sure we are able to give you a full refund of the fee or defer you to the immediate next semester, which will be November. We don't know what happens in November, whether we will be able to send you to Australia and you will be able to study online or not. But guess what? We still have that option of continuing while you're here, and as soon as the borders open, as soon as the world starts to become the new normal, we will put you on a plane and make sure you are able to continue your dream and you are able to work and study at Deakin University. The other important thing to remember is, what does it mean to study online? And what are the things that you have to remember when you are studying online? The first thing that you have to study online is your mindset. The mindset is that I am going to do this. It is going to be a little different. It is going to be difficult maybe, but it will be experiential. You will have synchronous and asynchronous teaching online. You will be able to interact with people all over the world, and you will be able to know that you are a part of the international student community in the comfort of your home, in the comfort of your country, while we are dealing with these difficult times. All the courses at Deakin University that are available online are in the area of arts, humanities, social sciences, accounting, finance, architecture, construction management, business, creative arts, data analytics, education, engineering, and I think it is important to know that media and communication, psychology, science and sport, and everything else is available online. So I think it is important for you to think about. If you are thinking, is the July intake cancelled? Well, on campus, yes. You are not going to be able to get on a plane and go to Australia on campus and study. It is not cancelled. The intake is going to go on, but you will be studying online from here. And as soon as Australia opens, you can then transfer and go on campus and continue from that point of time. Now, let's just take a scenario that you have enrolled in the July intake and you start on the 4th of July And on the, say, 15th of August, Australia opens its borders and it says that international students are now welcome to come and study in the institution of their choice. What happens to you? You can immediately apply for the visa and you can immediately get on a plane and transfer into on-campus mode at any one point of time, which is what I think is a very important part. Let me ask the parents and let me explain this to you. When your child is actually studying at home, you will need to understand that it is an interim, it is a starting point of education. The whole degree is not going to be online. It's only for these difficult times that we are telling you to start and commence so that the new normal of being online in the world. Now, even if you go to Australia and you're studying there, and for some reason you have to do more of the work online because of the situation that we get into, this time that you will be spending in studying just the 1 or 2 units online will give you confidence and will be able to explain to you how the world is changing and how you are able to cope with this changing world of studying online. It is going to be synchronous and asynchronous, like I said, so you will have the connection, you will be able to do it at your pace, you will have the flexibility, and like I said, I'm repeating myself, if you don't like it, there is a full refund and you are not losing on anything. And my dear friends, it's really important for us to understand that we cannot just sit and wait for things to happen. We have to make them happen, we have to be part of the change, and we have to make sure that we adapt and adopt ourselves in this changing environment. While you are studying online, the visa that you will be, you don't need a visa to study online, but your enrollment will be in the on-campus mode. So as soon as it opens, you can transfer. And the post-study work rights, we are discussing this with the government as we speak. The post-study work rights, in my opinion, hopefully will not have any impact because you're only going to be doing the 1 or 2 units. And that should not impact on your post-study work rights. But we are still waiting for an announcement by the government. As soon as that comes out, we will let you know. But in the meantime, you are not going to lose out on anything if you start now. I, as a parent of a 22-year-old who lives in Australia, am saying this to you with full conviction that my own son is looking at starting his master's degree online in Australia from trimester 2. So this is to the parents. You may have a question of what is the benefit? Why should we not wait? Why should we, who knows what happens in the future? All those questions are absolutely valid. All those points are absolutely valid. But guess what? What is your child going to do while the child is here? How is the child going to learn the online education system? How is the child going to work through and make sure that they are able to deal with the situation? You may be asking that, can you apply for your visa while you're online? Absolutely. As soon as the Australian High Commission opens and they're accepting student visa applications, you can straight away apply as a Deakin enrolled student. Now that is a difference also. While you are enrolling in the online program, you're actually enrolling as a Deakin student. And your paperwork from our side and your side will be completely ready during this period. So when as soon as the applications are being accepted by the High Commission, you are able to straight away get and apply for the visa. You don't have to wait for a confirmation of enrollment. You don't have to wait for any other documentation. If your documentation is complete, you have an unconditional offer from Deakin University, and there you go, apply for your visa, and there you are. And while you apply for your visa, your status will be enrolled student, which hopefully should make sure that you are able to reach by the timeline that you have to. If your visa gets rejected for whatever reason, or you're not able to go, then by the census date, if you apply for a refund, you get the full refund. And if you want to defer, you can then also defer to the next semester, which starts in November, or to the next semester, which begins in February. So there's immense flexibility in your process at Deakin University. I think we are one of the first universities that has taken into account what the students would want and what is in the best interest of the student while in their home country, and for them to then smoothly have a transition into the study period at Deakin University. You have to pay only for the units that you enroll. So if you are enrolling in one unit, you pay for one. If you are enrolling in two, you pay for two. And we also have a scholarship and a bursary scheme, which applies to your online study also. So if there is a merit system, the office will be able to give you more details of that. So I'm going to leave you with a number that you can get to, and you can ask for any queries there. What happens is, if you are a student on merit, then you get 25, otherwise you get 20% scholarship and bursary as per your merit. And I think the other thing to remember is that the counselor that you talk to will be able to take you through the system without any issue. Deakin University has an office here in India, in Delhi, and we are in local time to support all your queries and all your inhibitions that your parents may have. To my partners who are listening to me, I'd like to say that thank you so much for being on this journey with us. It has been a difficult journey, but we are in this together, and we don't want you to feel that these are tough times and you are in this alone. We are with you in this, and we will support you to make sure that your students and your clients are very well looked after. What are the benefits of studying online? The benefits of studying online is flexibility, quality. Deakin, like I said, is well known around the world. Number 8 around the world for its distance education or digital education. And I think the main thing for you to think about is what next? So right now, either you're sitting the exam or you're waiting for the exam date, or you don't know what's going to happen and you want to basically look at international education as an option. Write to southasia@deakin.edu.au. That's southasia@deakin.edu.au. And tell us, what are you thinking? You will have a dedicated counselor who will ring you and take you through the entire process of what are your options and how can we help you in this difficult time in a smooth, simple, clear enrollment process which is in your time, your interest, keeping in mind you may not be able to take the loans right now. Keeping in mind your parents may not economically want to invest into the 4 subjects that you would have studied on campus. So start with 1 or 2 and see how you go, which will not have any impact on your time in Australia, which will not have any impact in how you are going to study. It is only going to enrich you. It is only going to make you better in times to come. Some cases, the November intake may not be available. Then what do? You can apply for trimester 1, which commences in February. So all I'm trying to say to you is make use of this time. You know, they say there's always some good that comes out of it. So let's see how you can see your good in this current situation. Take up the 1 subject. Take up the 2 that you want. Take up the simpler ones, which are more not technical, but the first 1 or 2 that you would need to start with. See how it is working out for you. See how you want to study and what options you have. I was reading an article the other day which said that the online education around the world has gone up from 3% to 1,000%. What does this mean? You need to be a part on this journey. You need to make sure that you have the equipped knowledge and the skill set to be able to deal with all of this as you go into the future, as you're going to study online and on campus. And if you are interested in this, now is the time to make a choice. Now is the time to start thinking about the what and the how. And you can call any of our counselors and write to any of our counselors to take it forward. To the parents, I know this is really difficult, and I'm glad that you are with your children safe, and I hope that you will give them the understanding that the world is going to be new and we are all in this together to deal with this new challenge that we have all come across, and unknowingly, unprecedented times take you by surprise, but the human brain is resilient, the human brain is strong, and it knows how to deal with these difficult times. So my dear friends, my dear stakeholders, my dear students, everyone, wish you all the very best. Keep safe, look after yourselves, and make sure that you are going to be going through with this in a very strong and a committed way for a better future.